Whoops. Alright. Hey, everybody. Alright. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Mando Lessons Live. Whew, this one almost didn't happen as well. Last week, you might have seen if you came to the live page that there were technical difficulties. And about half an hour ago, I tried to fire things up and had to totally reinstall everything, but it looks like I'm here. I hope everything is coming through all right on your ends. The only thing I don't have is access to my little foot switch, hence the little I gotta do it manually, so I gotta change videos with my hand, so there'll be no slick transitions today. But it looks like we got a ton of people in the chat. Great to see y'all. We got Gary, Lewis, Denise, Antoine, Rob, Sheldon, James, Uncle Bobby, Lawrence, Ocean of Music, Donald, Colin, Matthew. All right, we got some nice new faces in here. Great to have you all here from all over the world. Let's see. Antoine says, I just started 2 months ago. Awesome. Welcome to the wonderful world of mandolin. Cool. Sheldon says, finally got the chord tremolo down. Glad to hear it. James says, an early requesting for some ducks on the mill pond. Absolutely. Great tune. So I hope you're all doing well. If you haven't been to one of these before, the way these works, pretty relaxed atmosphere. Try to keep it pretty casual. If you got questions, now's a great time to ask them anything about mandolin or playing music. I'll do my best to answer them. Happy to take requests. I only do requests that are in the public domain. So unfortunately, I can't do many pop songs or most songs really. But if I know them, I can try. And if they're in the public domain, I'll give it a whirl. Yeah. So I love hearing what everyone's working on. So don't be shy. Get in the chat and start talking to your friendly fellow mandolinists from all around the world. Just going to catch up with the chat here. All right, so little ducks on the mill pond. I want to play a little bit of our jam of the day, which is Skyboat Song. Great slow tune. I figured I wouldn't start off with the slow tune just because I wanted to keep things upbeat. But we'll get to that at the end of the hour. We'll all play Skyboat Song together, and I'll play it at some point here soon just to get it in your ears a little bit. Colin says, how was Elderly Instruments? It was awesome. And actually, we had Denise and Lewis both showed up for the Elderly show. So it was great to see you both. Finally got to meet Denise in real life. She's been helping out with the site for a long time now. But it was great to hang out and play some nice mandolins at Elderly. They got quite the thing going on there. Banjos, guitars, you name it. I somehow managed to get out of there without buying an instrument, but I was sorely tempted many times. If you ever get the opportunity to go up to Lansing, Michigan, check them out. They're real great folks, and I had a great time, and I hope to be back soon. Yeah, technical problems are solved. I updated my computer to a new operating system, and then the program that I used to get it moving, or like to do the streaming, just totally wouldn't open at all. So I had to do some research and figure out how to get it in back in working order. All right, Curtis from Pennsylvania, Willie from Florida, all sorts of great new names here. Cool, nice. So yeah, I taught Fine Times at our house, a great old time tune with Noah. We taught it at Elderly. We did a couple workshops. Lewis was there. He says he's got it back under his fingers after listening on YouTube. Uncle Bobby starting things off with the super chat donations. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah, it's always greatly appreciated. Helps me do these every weekend. There's the super chat. Some people do PayPal. Some people are Patreon members. Some people do everything. Definitely not required, but always appreciated. Play a little bit of Ducks on the Mill Pond. Great old time tune in the key of D. There it is. I love that tune. That's one of my favorite tunes of all time. Thank you for that request. That's Ducks on the Mill Pond on my old time mandolin album. A little bit you heard as the intro music if you were around at the beginning. Catch up here of Eastman mandolins. Opinions of Eastman mandolins. I love them. They're great. I've played a bunch. Never been disappointed. I had a Eastman octave mandolin for a while that I quite enjoyed. Michelle says, "Hi from Michigan. Hope you enjoyed your time at Elderly." Sure did. Got my Phoenix mandolin there. Awesome. A nice Maine-based mandolin. I went back when it was owned by Rolf. I went out there with a friend when I was first getting going. He was super nice and showed us around the shop and let us play a bunch of mandolins and sent us home with some kind of building supplies. Super great guy. And then Jenny was also great, who was running it. Unfortunately, no longer a operating mandolin shop, so you've got something that's not being made anymore. So it's too bad, but I think they're both happy doing other things at this point. All right, David Cartner from Canada. Good to have you here. Any plans to head to the West Coast? I'll keep you posted, potentially. Dan's Tune in the house from Southern California. Good to have you here once again. Ben from Maine. Awesome. We're both from Maine. Your name looks familiar. Maybe we've met. If we have, I apologize that I can't quite. I'm not good with remembering faces and names, but Hope to run into you if I haven't already. All right, the Pepper Patch in Alabama. Good to have you here. All right. Hello from Czech Pilsen. Probably didn't pronounce that correctly, but thanks for joining in. Ever been to Clifftop? I have not. I've got a bunch of friends that go to Clifftop. I would love to make it sometime, but usually it gets in the way of teaching at Maine Fiddle Camp, where I am every year. Uncle Bobby's been enjoying the simple to complex videos. Yeah, I've been enjoying making those. Got a couple more. I just did one this week on whatever that tune is. Was it Cripple Creek in the key of G? And then next week it's going to be play along jam, so you can take what you learned this week and apply it to next week's video. Then we're going to do it in a different key after that. So stay posted. Yeah, I've been enjoying doing those. Providence Grove from Alabama. Good to have you here. Trying to work out Rob says, I'm trying to work out a Mando arrangement of Like a Songbird from Cold Mountain. It's a lovely tune and actually pretty easy, but not public domain. Is that from the Cold Mountain soundtrack? I used to listen to that a lot, but it's been many years now. That's a great record. Keith from Kentucky, good to have you here. Play some arpeggios. There you go, some arpeggios in the key of G, G, C, and D arpeggios. I'll play a little bit of the tune we're going to play at the end of the hour. Skyboat Song, a beautiful Scottish tune. I'll zoom in for this one. It's just not quite as easy when I don't have the foot switch. Confused on the B part. Good thing we're going to practice it later. Yeah, I'll figure that out later, but I was getting a little turned around. I got distracted reading comments while I was playing. But there's a little bit of the tune we're going to play at the end of the hour. Alright, another request for Julianne Johnson. Happy to play that. Another great old-time tune in the key of D. James says, talking about mandolins that are no longer made, I was watching a video about when Martin made mandolins the other day. Yeah, those are great. I've played a bunch of those over the years, and they're really lovely. Beautiful instruments, and they sound great. Very different from kind of like the classic bluegrass carved top and back F-hole instruments, but they made some beautiful more flat top, flat back instruments back in the 20s and teens and 30s and 40s. I don't know how. I think they maybe went into the 50s. I can't remember how long they were made. Maybe somebody here knows, but they're lovely instruments. And often not wildly expensive. You can sometimes find them for $500 or so. So keep an eye out. Yeah, Julianne Johnson. Here we go, a little bit of Julianne Johnson. Love that tune. It's a fun one to play down the octave too, if you know the tune and want to try something a little different. Matthew says, having a hard time with the B part of Arkansas Traveler. That is a notey part of a tune. Can you walk through it? Some variants, maybe. Yeah, so there's a lesson on my website for Arkansas Traveler. I don't know exactly how I taught it off the top of my head, but let's see, Arkansas Traveler. Notey version would be. Which is kind of a little scale pattern. A little cascading line there. But you could simplify that a little, because you can break a tune down, and it's a great exercise to do. Kind of find the important parts. So you could go. And then you could have that same ending fast line from the A part. Again. See if we can simplify that that ending phrase. Something like that. Yeah, it's fun to experiment around with these sort of things and see what you come up with. There's no 100% right way to play a tune. You gotta kind of listen to what you're hearing around you and try to match that, and everyone's going to do it a little different, and that's all part of the fun. So yeah, if you're interested actually in any of these old time tunes that I've played, Ducks in the Mill Pond, Julianne Johnson, the first tune that I played was can't remember the name, East Tennessee Blues, Arkansas Traveler, all this stuff is on my website. So I think everything I've played so far, there's already a fiddle tune lesson for. If you want to pick up any of that stuff, you know where to find it, MandoLessons.com. Let's see. Ocean of Music says, do you know the mandolinist Tapas Roy from India? I don't. No, the only Indian mandolinist I know is U Srinivas, who's an amazing mandolin player. I've loved his music for a long time. He passed away a couple years ago, but great Indian mandolinist. David says, I've asked this a long time ago. Could you play your song On Common Ground? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. This is also on my website if you want to learn how to play it. See if I can remember how to play it. Yeah, okay, I'll do that a couple times. Here. There it is, a little bit of On Common Ground. Yeah, close enough. Let's see. Dance Tune says, I'm noticing your bends and vibrato fingerings this morning. I've noticed Andrew Marlin used those too. Is this guitar skill transferred to mandolin? I was a guitarist first too. I was actually a mandolin player before guitar. So I don't really think of it. I think it, I think you're more often to see, especially bends on a guitar than on a mandolin. A lot of times when I bend strings on a mandolin, people say, "Oh, you don't hear that too much," and I think it is a little less common on a mandolin, but it's a lot of fun. You can't get it as much as you can on a guitar because there's scale length is shorter, the strings are tighter, and you just got there's two of them. There's a lot kind of working against bending. You can get a little bit, which is fun. And in terms of tremolo, let me see. Or did you say? Oh yeah, bends and vibrato. Yeah. So yeah. So that I'd say that's maybe a little more easily accomplished on a guitar, but yeah, see what you can do on a mandolin. Ooh, would you mind playing through Silver Spear if I can remember how it goes? I can't remember. There's a tune that I used to play before it. Yeah, I can get this. Hang on here. Silver Spear. I know the tune. I just can't remember how it starts. Yeah, all right. Here's a little Silver Spear. I'll go back to the close-up view just for the heck of it. Thank you for requesting that one so I can remember how it goes. I always have trouble getting that one started, but it's a great tune. I think there's a lesson for it on my website, but there might not be. Can't remember. All right, Facundo, apologies that I'm saying your name probably incorrectly. I'm new on the mandolin. Can you tell me something to practice every day to improve my technique and understanding of the instrument quicker? Yeah. So I'd say, like, in general, one of the most helpful things you can do is like try to have as much fun and stay as engaged as possible while playing the mandolin. So a lot of people say, like, practice. You should practice your scales to get better, or different exercises. But I really, for myself, I have a lot more fun playing fiddle tunes. Did you say you're just getting going? Yeah. So what I'd recommend is go through my beginner series on my website if you haven't already, and then from there jump right into some beginner tunes. You can sort all of the tunes on my website by difficulty level, and it's some tunes will be harder or easier depending on what you're familiar with. um, get right into, like, playing some music, singing some simple songs, playing some chords, picking out melodies, and I think kind of jumping right into getting a tune under your fingers and in your head is going to be a lot more fun and a lot more beneficial than feeling like you need to have perfect technique or you need to know all your scales before you really start getting to the musical side of things. So I would say, pick out a couple, or even just start with just one simple fiddle tune, get it in your head, play it a bunch, and just play it until you've got it under your fingers and you start getting tired of it. Repetition is the key to success. So don't play through the tune multiple times. Don't just play it once and say, okay, I did it. Play it 5 times through, and that'll really help you out. And then play it as long as it holds interest for you, and then move on to another tune, and you'll come back to it later. Chat just jumped there. I saw a video of Ian Walsh playing Arkansas Traveler A part in the high octave. That's nice. Yeah, I like that. You do the B part down. Kind of have to take that ending phrase a little differently to play the B part down. But yeah, experimenting with octaves is super fun. Really also helps improve your playing. It's a win-win situation. Emily says, I'm also new to playing mandolin. I play guitar and ukulele and have always learned using guitar tabs and YouTube video. Is there any type of mandolin app that is well developed that has tabs? No, not really. Not to my knowledge. Other people can chime in if I'm wrong here. But what I will say is my website is, it's not an app, but it's very mobile friendly. So if you're looking on your phone or an iPad or something, I've got tabs all throughout my website. You can load them up there, or just like download the PDFs and turn it into a little package that you can save onto your device. Yeah, thanks for joining in today. Awesome. Ben says he's got a band he's in that's been working on East Tennessee Blues. That's a great tune. Yeah. All right, let's see. Cool. Maurice says, been playing about a year and making good progress. I'm glad you're enjoying the website, and keep up the good work. All right, so Rob says, I use Tux Guitar to transcribe Mando tab. Cool. And I often get asked what program I use to make my sheet music and tablature. I use a free program called MuseScore. It's MuseScore, and it's cross-platform. I don't think there's a mobile. Maybe there's a mobile version. I don't know. but I know you can get it on a Mac or a PC. And it's free, and it's pretty comprehensive. I like using it. What kind of picking technique is on this video? I don't entirely understand the question, but I think, okay, so then I see later on you're saying any practice routines for this kind of playing. Yeah, if you go to my website, MandoLessons.com, there's a lesson in there. If you go into the techniques and fundamentals page, there's a whole kind of right hand technique section, and a lot of those have to do with pick direction and kind of getting your right hand moving with a pick, holding the pick, all that sort of stuff. I would check out the right hand technique section of my website. There's kind of a lot to talk about, but everything from pick direction to how to hold the pick to being loose, to doing different like tremolo, double stops. Hope that's helpful. Would love a lesson on blues improv. That's a good idea. I would love to make some lessons on improvisation. It's kind of a dense subject because everybody approaches it a little differently, and I'm not totally sure how I approach it. So it would be a tricky one to do, but that would probably make me a better teacher. So I'll add that to the list. Donald says, at one time you sold t-shirts. Yeah, quite a few years ago now. But have you ever thought of selling case stickers? I have. I had stickers for a while. I still actually have some. But I do want to do a new round of shirts and merchandise. I kind of ran out of the ability to. I was just like having them made myself and then shipping them out of my house, but I couldn't kind of keep up with doing that. But I want to find some online place to sell shirts and stickers and that sort of stuff again. It'll be a good winter project for me. Cool. Maury says, love the fiddle tune lessons. Thanks. Cool. Didn't know. Yeah, a lot of people find me through. So Emily says, didn't know you had a website until watching this. Yeah, check out the website. It's got all of the same videos on YouTube, but there's just maybe better ways to search through them. And there's play along tracks that you can play along with, as the name suggests, and other resources and sheet music and tablature, all that kind of stuff. Do you have any particular picking pattern, this is from Ben, you use for most songs? I've heard of some people who do a down, down, up pattern for jigs or down, up, in reels. Yep, so those, I've got lessons on my website in that section I was talking about, the right hand section of the technique and fundamentals. The basic, I'll zoom in here. The basic idea is for reels, you want to be doing down, up, down, up. So if it's straight eighth notes, straight short notes, like with Silver Spear. That's not Silver Spear. You can, excuse me, you can see my right hand is just doing a lot of down, up, down, up, down, up. And for jigs, the picking pattern is down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So it becomes and that puts the emphasis in the right space for a jig. Because jigs are in 6/8, they're little subdivisions of 3. So in order to keep your right hand kind of emphasis always coming on the downstrokes, you have to double that down and make down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Again, more comprehensive lessons on the website. All right, let's see. Judah, good to see you here. Thanks for joining in. Still out on the tune request. Do you know that Joys of My Life, the Irish tune? I love that tune. I used to play it. I don't think I've got it enough under my fingers at this point to play it. Yeah, I'll definitely play some Irish tunes though. Catch up with the chat and then do another tune here. Can you do something in Bill Monroe style? Sure. MandoTabs.com might be of interest to the ukulele player. It's the sister site of a well-known uketab site. Pop and classics with the ability to change. Wow, I don't know. I don't know about this website. Oh, cool. That's great. That's awesome. That's a good resource. Thank you for pointing me in that direction. Planning on doing more Irish tune lessons? Yes. Which tunes? I generally am kind of going for, I can look at my list here. I'll play an Irish tune and then talk about some Irish tunes. Let's see. Play a jig. It's not an Irish tune. It's a Quebec jig, I think. What is that tune? Wow, totally lost balance. Wow, well, I was trying to get into, oh, there it is. Well, I don't remember the name of that tune. I'm going to have to look that up. Won't take long though. So that first tune, one of my favorite tunes, Out on the Ocean, it is on my website. And that second tune is not on my website. But I'm going to find what it was called. Coleman's Cross, that's right. I learned that from a beautiful concertina album by Caitlin DeGavin. What is the name? I think, oh yeah, the album is just called Caitlin. Or Catlin? I don't know how to say her name. Great concertina player, though. If I can see if I can post this for y'all. That's the, I just put the concertina player's name that I learned that tune from in the chat because it's Irish and I don't know how to pronounce it and I don't know how to spell it. But that is there now. Okay, alright, interest in Mando gear. Glad to hear it. So yeah, in terms of Irish tune lessons, ultimately my main focus is to kind of stick to, there's a lot of Irish tunes, but try to stick to fairly well-known tunes just so you're more likely to be able to play them with other people rather than teaching a bunch of really obscure tunes. But let's see, what do I have coming up with Irish tunes? Oh, the Earl's Chair. Behind the Haystack. No, I think I already did that one. Morrison's Jig. Lark in the Morning. Cuckoo's Nest. Peacock's Feathers. Geese in the Bog. Don't know the session.org. It's a great resource for learning Irish tunes. Denise says, I thought about gear, offer it during a slow time of year for a limited time. That's a good idea. I think what I'm ultimately going to do is just have it ship through in a way that I don't ever need to interact with it. I know that there are companies that will just sort of, make them and then ship them rather than me having to do the shipping myself. Shebeg Shamor is a favorite. That's a great tune. I'm pretty sure that's on my website. Pirates of the Caribbean. Can you play it and go in depth for me? Unfortunately, I can't because that is a copyrighted song. I don't know how to play it. But I bet you can find either a lesson or tablature or sheet music somewhere out there for that. Bet somebody's done it on the mandolin on YouTube, and then you can use that little gear icon in the corner to slow it down and see what you can get. Kathleen, thank you. Kathleen DeGavin. Yes, okay, nice. Yeah, when I was trying to play Silver Spear again, I was, in fact, playing Miss Monaghan's. That's probably why I can't start Silver Spear, is because Miss Monaghan's is my go-to Irish tune in the key of D. How about some classical music? Unfortunately, I don't know any classical music, really. I've learned a few kind of token Bach pieces, but I don't know anything about the classical mandolin style or repertoire or anything like that. There is, I think, an Artist Works classical mandolin online class resource from, what's her name? Katarina Lichtenberg, which I've heard good things about. She's an incredible Irish classical mandolin player. All right, well, Lark in the Morning, cool, yes. That's definitely high on the list of tunes to make. I can never remember how it starts, but if I make a lesson for it, I'll learn more about it. Cool. Well, we're getting close to the end, so I'll play another tune here, and while I do, get your mandolins out and get them tuned up, and we'll do a little bit of Skyboat Song, which is our jam along tune of the week. Alright, there we go. A little bit of whatever that tune is. Miss something. Thornton's. Miss Thornton's. There we go. Man, I'm blanking out on the tune names today. Oh, cool. Sean says, Irish album recommendation from Mug McGoldrick, who popped into my session. That is very cool. Wish he'd pop into my local session. The Bank of Turf from Tommy Fitzsimmons and Donald Magog. I don't know how to say his last name, but Fitzharris. Okay, Fitzharris. Magog. I'll look that one up. The Bank of Turf. Listen to that once this is over. Oh, it looks like it's McCog. MCCAGUE. Cool. Always looking for new Irish records. One of my favorite Irish records of late is Jack Talty, another great concertina player. You might see a pattern here. Has a beautiful solo album from a couple years ago, 2016, called In Flow, that I've really been enjoying. There's a lot of great tunes on that. I also love all of the Mulcahy family albums. Alright, so let's play a little bit of... Oh, just catch up with last chat. James says, I always get confused with Billy and the Low. Yeah, it is very similar to Temperance Reel. Yeah, so that's always tricky. A lot of tunes sound like other tunes, and it can get a little confusing. So let's play a little bit of this here Skyboat Song. I'm gonna look it up just so I don't confuse anyone. I was getting really turned around playing it last time, but yeah, the way this works is get out your mandolin, get tuned up, and we'll kind of pass the tune back and forth. I'll play the melody, you play the chords, and then I'll play the chords while you play the melody, etc., etc. Have fun with it. If you know this tune already, it's a great time to really cement it under your fingers. If you're just learning it or have never heard it before, see if you can pick up whatever you can. If you've played it a million times, see if you can add some embellishments. Oh, cool. James says, speaking of Mike McGoldrick, just booked tickets to the Transatlantic Sessions tour. That's great. I'd love to see them live. Cool. Sierra Hall's going to be involved. And, Rachel Sermani. I don't know. I'll have to look her up. Eric says, do you ever notice that your mandolin has a hard time being heard over other instruments in the Irish session? In louder, bigger sessions, I find I can barely hear the mandolin players. I absolutely do, and that's why I play the tenor banjo in Irish sessions. I love the sound of a mandolin in an Irish session, but if it's a big session, tenor banjo is my preference. Cool. I'd love to hear Mike McGoldrick play some mandolin and bouzouki. Alright, so a little bit of Skyboat song. I'll zoom into the other camera here. We'll play a little of this. So it's key of G. Here we go. I'll play melody, you play chords. B part. Again. Da, da. Sorry, my computer's freaking out. Let's start from here. I'll play the chords, you play melody. Go. Again. B part. It's got that little tag at the end. I'll play melody. And the tag. You play the melody. Here we go. B part. Peg. All right, there we go. A little bit of Skyboat song. Whew, names are really not coming to me today. All right, fix my computer here. All right. Well, it's been a great hour. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and look forward to see you in the next one. Nope, I'm gonna catch up with the last couple of chat. Oh, just transatlantic session. Got to see them in Brownfest. Cool. All right, have a great weekend. Thank you all so much for your support. The super chats, the Patreon supporters, the PayPal supporters. It all helps me keep doing what I'm doing, and I couldn't do it without you. So thank you, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye. And I'm back. Forgot about next time. Yeah, let's do Banish Misfortune. That sounds great. Totally spaced. Thank you, Lewis, for keeping me on track here. See you soon.